Hey everyone, what's going on? Jeff here from Films at Home, and today we've got another Tarantino classic on 4K to review. Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to the channel today for this review. Today we're going to be taking a look at Pulp Fiction on 4K here. I have the limited edition Steelbook version, but there's also a standard 4K. This releases on December 6th of 2022, and we're going to dive in here and I'll give you an in-depth review on the video quality, the audio differences, packaging, special features, and ultimately answer that question for you, whether or not this one's worth picking up for your collection and upgrading from your Blu-ray or DVD. If you do enjoy collecting physical media and reviews like this, we just hit 100,000 subscribers on the channel, which was amazing, but we're going to keep growing, so make sure you subscribed if you haven't already and like this video so we keep spreading the word about physical media. So jumping right into the video for this release, we do have a brand new 4K transfer. I don't have any details on whether or not it came from the original source, but it sure does look like it when you look at the visual quality, and it also has a new Dolby Vision HDR color grading attached to it. Now, like Reservoir Dogs and like Inglourious Basterds, Tarantino had no involvement with this movie. Quentin Tarantino himself actually is not a real supporter of 4K, doesn't really like the format. He's come out against it a few times, so unfortunately he's not involved with these restorations, which sometimes can be, I think, a bad thing, like in the case of Inglourious Basterds, but has also been perfectly fine because Reservoir Dogs was awesome. And luckily, Pulp Fiction here from Paramount looks just about as good as Reservoir Dogs does. Now, I don't think it's as large a difference, Blu-ray to 4K, as Reservoir Dogs, because that one had a really bad Blu-ray, and Pulp Fiction's Blu-ray wasn't terrible, but this is a really nice step forward on the 4K format. First of all, the detail is greatly improved. Again, I don't know if they went back to original negatives or not, but it sure looks like they did. There's great detail throughout. You get that really nice filmic look and feel. The grain structure is intact. There's no DNR. There's no digital noise reduction. There's no grain smoothing. None of that. It's a pure filmic 35mm looking 4K transfer, which is what we want. Is it one of the better ones? I would say it's like maybe just out of a top 10 for this year, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It's really, really well done. It's just not as impressive as a few others out there, but this is a really good effort from Paramount finally, because they've had a couple hiccups lately. Now, the HDR color grading here with Dolby Vision is also really nice, really well done. Definitely brings a lot more depth to the picture. The Blu-ray, and this is sort of typical with Blu-rays, to me looked a little bit too warm. Again, too orange, too yellow, just too much warmth in the image. The Dolby Vision HDR seems to balance that out. You get a cooler image, definitely more on the, blue-gray side, but it doesn't go too far. It balances the image nicely. Of course, the classic, the black suits, the tuxedo, they look great. I thought that there were instances like inside Jackrabbit Slims where you'll even see in one of the screenshots, like some of the neon lights on the Blu-ray were just a little dim and boring, and they really pop off the 4K. So they clearly have done a full restoration. This was not like a quick job. They went back, they fully recolor graded. They definitely did some sort of new transfer, whether it was from an original negative or not. It looks fantastic, so I assume it was, and it's really, really well done. I would definitely recommend this. I don't think it's maybe as good as Reservoir Dogs. I don't think it'll make the top 10 for this year, but if I had like a top 15 list, it's probably in there. I'd give it a solid 4.5 out of 5 for visuals, probably a 4.5. Now, on the audio side of things for this release, we don't get anything new here. It's the same DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 that you'd be used to hearing on the Blu-ray, but there's no issue with that because honestly, sometimes I don't know that it's always a good thing to try to remix something that sounded perfectly fine on Blu-ray. The 5.1 is great. There's never been an issue with that disc, and I've watched it many times, having this, be one of my favorite movies and clearly one of Tarantino's best. I loved this movie. It's one of the movies that got me into even Blu-ray collecting. One of the first Blu-rays I ever bought was Pulp Fiction. So I've seen that disc many, many times on Blu-ray, and it's always sounded fantastic. So yeah, could they have gone Atmos? Sure, but was it really going to give us that much more for a movie like this? Probably not. This is Pulp Fiction, has its moments, but it's largely dialogue driven, and as long as that sounds clear and the mix is good, which it is, I'm happy with the audio. Now the packaging here for the Steelbook is really cool. I like the red Steelbook. You obviously got John Travolta and Uma Thurman on the front. You get the Royale with cheese on the back. I'm really liking the whole cast list on the top as well. And then on the inside, you've got the Blu-ray disc and the 4K disc. Nothing on those discs, but let me pop them out and show you what's behind them. So on the inside, you do get Uma Thurman and John Travolta again in their iconic dance scene. So overall, a really clean Steelbook. It is a glossy Steelbook, so you're going to get some fingerprints on it, but I really like the design here, and I'm happy they went with something a little bit different for the Steelbook. This also does come with a digital code, and if you aren't interested in the Steelbook, there is a standard 4K release with a slipcover, which has the more traditional poster art, which will also be available on December 6th. Now for special features, there's nothing really new. There's a couple of features on the 4K disc, which are legacy features, a couple short featurettes. There's an enhanced trivia track, and then the Blu-ray disc carries over all of those special features that were previously available. So nothing really there. Your big reason to upgrade is potentially going to be for the Steelbook and this awesome packaging, because it's the best package art that we've ever seen for Pulp Fiction, but really for the visual transfer. It's a really great transfer. Definitely worth upgrading, especially when it comes to HDR. That Dolby Vision takes it to the next step. It's so much more finely detailed. I mean, I'm borderline putting this on a top 10 list. It's really close. Like, it's that good. It's definitely one of the better discs of the year, but maybe just doesn't stand up to some of the real top tier stuff. Not saying it's bad. It's a very, very solid upgrade, and one that I think you guys will definitely be happy with, and I would highly recommend. So if you do want to pick up Pulp Fiction on 4K, as always, I will have some Amazon links in the video description and in the pinned comment. If you use those links, that helps support my channel, so I appreciate it. So thank you for watching this review. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. Follow me on social media. All the links are in the description, as well as links to things like my podcast and lots of other discount codes and partners that I work with, and that helps support me and the channel as well, so I appreciate it. Once again, thank you for 100,000 subscribers. This is the first review I've done since then, so if you didn't watch my other video, thank you so much. I cannot wait to see what the silver play button looks like. I cannot wait to see what's next for this channel. We have so much more growth here and so much more opportunity. So I'm so excited. Thank you all for that. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe and healthy out there, and I will talk to you all soon.